Welcome, students. We are going to discuss the next chapter of Beehive, that is, Reach for the Top. When we focus on the topic of this chapter, that is, Reach for the Top, everyone has a desire to become successful in her life. Everyone has a desire to remain at the top of his life. But one thing we should remember: whenever we hope to become successful in our life, then we have to take pain. No pain, no success. No pain, no gain. To reach at the top, pain is required. Sufferings are required. Adverse conditions of life is required. Adversity is the reward of life. We should welcome adversity. We should welcome hardships, difficulties in our life. Without pain, success will never come. So in the present chapter, that is Reach for the Top, we'll see how persons get success in their life. They have to pay for it. Only those persons can enjoy the taste of success who faces hurdles in her life or his life. The simple meaning is this: to reach at the top, pain will be required. No pain, no gain. No pain, no success. To become successful, everyone has to face the hurdles in her life. In the present chapter, we'll see the two personalities. First one is Santosh Yadav, and second personality is Maria Sharapova. Both of them are at the top of their life. They reached at the top of their life. How did it take place? What efforts, what hurdles, what problems they faced in order to reach for the top? We will see. As I told you, no pain, no gain. No pain, no success. So, in the first part, we will see the mountaineer, that is Santosh Yadav. What struggles, what hardships did she face, we will see. Now we move to the introduction of this chapter, that is Reach for the Top, and part 1. Part 1 clearly describes about Santosh Yadav, a mountaineer. See the introduction. The article is about Santosh Yadav, the first woman in the world to climb Mount Everest twice. That was the achievement of Santosh Yadav. The first woman in the world to climb Mount Everest twice. Her story is inspiring. Despite being born in a skewed society which did not welcome the birth of a girl child, where girls were married off at 16, she made her own path, followed her desires, and achieved world fame. So the introductory part clearly indicates that the life of Santosh Yadav was not easy. It is full of hurdles. The main reason behind this is that she had taken birth in such a society where the birth of a girl child was not welcomed. This is a society where girls were married off at 16. So here you will see how did she fight with this situation? How did she come out of her situation, her condition? This society is a great hurdle in the path of her success, but she was determined. She had decided what she had to do, and she did it because of her firm will. She had achieved her desire. She had achieved world fame because of her firm determination. Most importantly, she had a courage to fight against the society. This we have seen. तो इस इंट्रोडक्शन पार्ट में हम देखते हैं, जो कि पहला पार्ट पूरी तरह से संतोष यादव को समर्पित है, जो कि पहली वीमेन थी जिसने माउंट एवरेस्ट 2 बार चढ़ा। उसकी स्टोरी इंस्पायरिंग है। वो एक ऐसी सोसाइटी में जन्म ली थी जहाँ पर बर्थ ऑफ गर्ल चाइल्ड को वेलकम नहीं किया जाता था। वहाँ पे लड़कियों की शादी जो है 16 एज में ही कर दी जाती थी। ये स्टोरी बताती है कैसे उसने अपना पाथ बनाया, अपने डिज़ायर फुलफिल की और वर्ल्ड फेम को अचीव किया। सो द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ संतोष यादव, or you can say the introduction of the first part of the present chapter clearly indicates that the life of Santosh Yadav was not so easy. Now we move to first paragraph of this part 1. of reach for the top. See, the only woman in the world who has scaled Mount Everest twice was born in a society where the birth of a son was regarded as a blessing, and a daughter, though not considered a curse, was not generally welcome. So first three lines clearly indicates about Santosh Yadav, about the mentality of the society where the birth of a son was considered as a blessing and the birth of a daughter was not welcome. So in such kind of society we are living. The only women in the world. So only women here refers to Santosh Yadav, who has scaled Mount Everest twice. And she was taken birth in such a society where the birth of a son was considered as a blessing and the birth of a daughter is not welcome. When her mother was expecting Santosh, a traveling holy man, giving her his blessing, assumed that she wanted a son. Her mother wanted a son. But to everyone's surprise, the unborn child's grandmother, who was standing close by, told him that they did not want a son. You see, the contradiction is here. Santosh Yadav's mother seeked for a son, but to everyone's surprise, the unborn child's grandmother, who was standing close by, told him that they did not want a son. They wanted a daughter. The holy man was also surprised. Nevertheless, he gave the requested blessing because grandmother said they wanted daughter, not son. And blessing was given by the holy man, who was also surprised because grandmother wanted a daughter instead of a son, as destiny would have it. Destiny would have it means Santosh Yadav was born. The blessing seemed to work. Santosh was born, the sixth child in a family with 5 sons, a sister to 5 brothers. So this is the mystery of Santosh Yadav's birth. What was the story behind her birth we have seen. What was the desire of her mother? What was the desire of her grandmother? And what was the blessing of the holy man? Holy man, her mother were surprised to know that grandmother wanted a daughter instead of a son. And destiny would have it. Fortunately, they got a daughter. In this way, Santosh was born, the 6th child in a family, and she was sister to 5 brothers. She was born in the small village of Jonia, was of Rewari district in Haryana. So Santosh Yadav was born in Haryana. So in the first paragraph we have seen that how Santosh Yadav was become the part of our family member. इस पूरे पैराग्राफ में हम केवल यही देखते हैं कि ऑथर ये बताता है कि इस दुनिया पे माउंट एवरेस्ट पे चढ़ाई करने वाली 2 बार चढ़ाई करने वाली जो वीमेन हैं वो ऐसे सोसाइटी में जन्म लिया जहाँ पर सन के बर्थ को ब्लेसिंग मानी जाती है और डॉटर के बर्थ को जो है ब्लेसिंग नहीं मानी जाती है, ना ही उसका वेलकम किया जाता है। राइटर्स में बताता है कि जो संतोष यादव की मदर है वो चाहती है कि कौन क्या हो, सन हो, लेकिन ग्रैंड मदर कहती है नहीं, हमें क्या चाहिए, डॉटर चाहिए। ऐसा सुन करके होली मैन संतोष यादव की मदर भी क्या होती है, सरप्राइज होती है। और फाइनली जो है संतोष यादव का जन्म होता है। और संतोष यादव जो है अपने 5 भाइयों में एक बहन है, और उसका जन्म जो है रेवाड़ी डिस्ट्रिक्ट हरियाणा में हुआ है। Now we move to second paragraph. The girl was given the name Santosh, which means contentment. What is the meaning of contentment? Satisfaction. And the name of the born daughter was Santosh. But Santosh was not always content with her place in a traditional way of life. You see the contradiction. Her name was Santosh, but there was no satisfaction, contentment in her life. Santosh was not always content with her place in a traditional way of life. So what was her place in the society? She was not happy with that. She was not contented with that. She began living life on her own terms from the start. That was the courage of Santosh Yadav. From the beginning, she lived, or she wanted to live her life in her own way. Where, for example, one example is given here, where other girls wore traditional Indian saris or dresses, Santosh preferred shorts. You see, this is the first incident that showed that she was courageous and she was not contented with her place in the society. One example is given. Other girls used to wear traditional Indian dresses. Santosh preferred shorts. Looking back, she says now, from the very beginning I was quite determined that if I chose a correct and a rational path, the others around me had to change, not me. That was the belief of Santosh Yadav. That was the remark made by Santosh Yadav, that from very beginning she was quite determined. If she had chosen a correct and rational path, then others had to change. She is not going to change herself. Meaning is this, what Santosh Yadav thought, that this path is correct, this path is rational, then she is going to follow that one. She is not going to change herself. Others will change it. So that was the determination of Santosh Yadav. She is determined. She had firm belief in her. Her determination is superior. She was not contented with her name. She was not contented with the position of her in the society. She wanted to live her life in her own way. As example is given, others girls used to wear traditional Indian dresses. She used to wear shorts. She said, if I think the present path is rational, logical, then she is going to follow it. She is not going to change it. Others had to follow it. तो पैरा नंबर 2 में हम देखते हैं कि संतोष का नाम का मतलब संतोष है, लेकिन वो संतुष्ट नहीं थी। उसकी जो कंडीशन थी सोसाइटी में, वो उससे संतुष्ट नहीं थी। वो अपने तरीके से अपनी लाइफ जीना चाहती थी। जैसे इसने एग्जाम्पल दिया, जैसे अदर गर्ल्स जो हैं इंडियन ड्रेस पहनते थे, संतोष जो शॉर्ट्स पहना करती थी, उसने एक बात कही कि बहुत ही शुरू से ही वो बहुत डिटर्मिन्ड थी। अगर वो किसी चीज़ को चुनी है, वो रैशनल पाथ पे है, तो अदर्स उसके चारों ओर जितने हैं उनको चेंज होना पड़ेगा, वो अपने आप को चेंज नहीं करेगी। तो दैट वाज द सच काइंड ऑफ डिटर्मिनेशन इन संतोष यादव. So in both paragraph we have seen the nature of Santosh Yadav, and most importantly how did she take birth, at the time of her birth, what was the expectation of her mother, what was the expectation of her grandmother. We have seen grandmother wanted to have a daughter, and this desire of grandmother surprised her mother, the holy man also, and blessings was granted. A daughter was born. The name of the daughter was Santosh. And further we have seen what was the nature, what was the quality, what was the feature of Santosh Yadav, that she was determined. She had a firm determination. Okay, thank you.